Hello, 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 my YouTube subscribers, and also to the newcomers to my channel. I'm your host, Josie Latimer, and boy, do I have some news for you. It's some new evidence regarding Brittany Bowens and the timeline of when she actually got on that plane. There was someone online and they put out the itinerary where you could really see the time that she actually flew out. The time that the person stated that she got on the plane was between 11:30ish and 11:45, somewhere during that time. Which means what, everybody? It means she was there that morning when Darian Vance went home from work. That means that the baby was already with her early that morning at the house with Brittany Bowens. Someone else said in some of my comments that there was a patio window in the back of the apartment, which means when the camera did not pick Brittany Bowens walking out of the apartment, she could have actually went out that back way near that patio window because the camera actually possibly wasn't in the back. Now, the reason the camera didn't pick her up, or I'll say that the camera probably didn't pick her up from the front because of the fact that either the tape stopped working, the camera malfunctioned, or the camera actually was off at that particular time. Because apparatus machines, they can malfunction on you, they can stop, they can click off, it can be battery operated, it could be so many different things, could be a reason that she wasn't caught on camera. So either she went out the back door, or the camera didn't pick her up, or the camera wasn't on and it caught him walking out, but it didn't catch her. So everybody is wondering what happened with that. I really thank that YouTuber for putting that information out online, because all that did was it opened up the window for us all to see that she was home that morning when Darian Vance got sick and went home from work. So that important call was the reason he went home, and that baby was murdered at that time. Brittany got on the plane and just went on about her business. And then when she came back, her mother picked her up at the airport when Darian Vance didn't show up. And the mother said he possibly was riding around the airport, you guys. If I knew that my baby didn't show up and they were supposed to pick me up, and I think they're riding around the airport, you know what? I'm going to ride around the airport as well, trying to find them, or ask one of those police officers on duty, did you see a guy circling the airport and this particular car with a little girl in it? That didn't happen. Then when she got home, she didn't have her keys to get in the house. So it's just a lot of crazy stories out there. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys, how could you sleep in a bed? She said it on TV. She slept in the bed where her baby's bed, after the baby was murdered. That takes a person, a cold-hearted person, a person as tough as nails, to do something like that. And also to still drive in the car where the baby was murdered and put in a trash bag like garbage with remains in the trunk of the car. How could you keep the car? I would have sold that car immediately. I wouldn't even want to see that car, knowing my baby rode in that car for 6 hours, with the smell and the remains of that innocent little baby in that trunk, which was her child. And to ride in that car? Ooh, that take a person that tells you a lot about a person. That means you got to have a heartless heart, like zero heart, like, oh my God. It gives me the creeps to even think about it. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I would be as sick as Darian Vance was when he heard the news that something happened to that baby. Possibly. It's either that or they both did something together to hurt that baby and to kill that baby. And the truth will come out because eventually Darian Vance is going to get tired of being locked up in jail. Another thing, when Brittany came home, she took pictures. Someone online was asking her, some of her friends or whatever was asking her, did you take the pictures of Darian Vance? And she said, yes, I did. Did you talk to MALEAH when you was gone? I'm not going to answer that. Those questions there, why would I want to take pictures to help him cover up the murder of my child? Pictures of his cuts and wounds. And another thing, who put those cuts and wounds on him? That's another question that hasn't been answered. But for her to actually take the pictures of them as if she was helping him plot that the Mexicans had did that to him, why would she take pictures of him? If he don't have my baby, I don't want to see his butt. I don't want to see you. I left my baby in your hands and you don't have her. And I'm going to be taking pictures to help you with your alibi? Oh, no, 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 no. Something is truly wrong with this whole story. And I think everybody that was involved with knowing that that baby was injured from CPS all the way down. And even the father, when that father went over there and Darian Vance says that my baby have a cold and I can't go see my baby, I would kick the door in. Oh, I'm going to see my baby. And especially if my baby have a cold, because kids are dying from the flu. You know, even Puff Daddy's baby's twin mother, even adults are dying because she died of the flu, complications of flu and pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? Anytime my baby is sick, oh, I'm going in. And nobody, I walk through hell and with gasoline draws on. So that was shaky to me as well. CPS was at fault. The father was at fault. The grandmother was at fault. The mother was at fault. And definitely the stepfather who packed that baby's body out in a garbage bag. I knew it from day one when I saw his arm straining. I even said that early on. I knew that was the baby in the basket. And then to be so cold, colder than Brittany, to even drive the baby 6 hours with her remains in the back of that trunk of that car. And she's still going to drive around in that car? But I want to thank the lady that put out the itinerary. A lot of people say it's fake. But if it's not fake and that timeline shows that she left at 11:30 a.m. that morning, then that means she was home with that baby when she called Darian Vance to come home. Either she hurt that baby or they hurt that baby together. Because she still had time to be there that morning. If she left at 11:30, it doesn't take that long to get to the airport. Even though they tell you come in 2 hours, you can do it. You know, I've always flown back and forth for years, back and forth all over the world, and it didn't take that long to get checked in. Oftentimes, I just check in really quick and take what I'm going to wear with me on the plane because I didn't want to go through all of the hassle of checking in a lot of luggages. That could have happened. So thank you, whoever posted that online, because all it did was showed everybody that she was there that morning. Now this Janetta or whoever her friend was, she hasn't actually said what time she picked the girl up at her house. Even if she don't speak. And the tickets show that she left at 11:30 or quarter to 12. That still gave her enough time to hurt a child and to try to cover it up by jumping on the plane going to the airport. And it's not over because all of this stuff is still being investigated and she's not out of the woods. It's just like that guy that stabbed that little boy 20 times, the little Hispanic guy. And he was online talking all proper, and they came and got him 3 years later. Just like the A.J. Armstrong story, the boy that practiced with the gun with pillows, and then later his parents came up murdered with pillows over their head with the same gun that he had practiced with. And that was 3 years later, and they're not letting him off the hook. So it can take time. But whoever was involved in this and all the people that aided and did know something about it. So all of these people, they're going to look at. They're going to look, well, they may be investigating CPS. They're going to do the father, the mother, the stepfather, the uncle, that Uncle Joe Vince's, the stepfather's brother, which is his step uncle-in-law or whatever you want to call it. They're going to investigate him because they actually went to his house, I understand, to even arrest Darian Vince. So they're coming after the grandmother. Anybody that knew anything about this and did not report it will be investigated. So thank you, YouTuber, for posting that online, because all that did was let the world know that she was home that morning. And we want to thank you over and over again for that information, since her driver didn't come up and let everybody know. I mean, because it has to be something to it, because normally if it wasn't, the person would come up and said, oh no, everybody's wrong. Oh no, I picked her up at this time, that time. She couldn't have been there. She wasn't there. We don't hear that. We don't hear, it's just silent. That person has not told us exactly what time she picked her up from home, which she don't have to speak, because that ticket at the airport speaks for itself, that she still had time that morning to murder that child, or to assist in murdering that child, or to know what's going on with that child, or to know if Darian did it. Because early on, when her and Cornell X was on the news, she said, actually she told Cornell that he had been abusing the child, he had beat the child before, and later she said Cornell made her say that. Well, Cornell didn't pull a gun to your head. I know there are people talking about the things that he's done wrong, but in this case, anytime someone's standing next to you on on local television, and possibly that went worldwide, and you're going to allow him to stand there and say all of these things that he said, you said, and you didn't stop him on camera, that means you were saying that to protect yourself. You was putting it on Darian Vince, and then later you took it back from Darian, and in the beginning you said he couldn't do it. You just didn't want to think that he would have done it, that he could not have done that. You see? So in the beginning, you just kept incriminating yourself. In the beginning, you said he couldn't have done that. And you was all in his corner, in his favor, taking pictures of his wounds and this and that. And then you tell, why would you even do all that and take pictures of him and trying to help him hide something? And then you're going to come back and tell Cornell that he abused the kid. And it's no way that you're going to stand on TV and let this man say all of this unless it was true. And when Cornell found out a lot of stuff, he backed away from the case because of the fact that he felt that Brittany Bowens has something to do with the murder. He even said it. And he turned over all the evidence to the police. So they're still investigating this. Right now, they cannot charge Brittany Bowens because they haven't put two and two together yet. But as I said in those other cases, with that A.J. Armstrong story, with that man that stabbed that little boy story, and many other stories, those district attorneys, they take their time. They want to make sure they got every T crossed, every I dotted. And then what they do, they just slam dunk you, and the next thing you know, you're in jail. So don't think, and I don't know how Brittany Bowens could sleep at night. I still can't see how she slept in that baby's bed knowing that baby was murdered and blood was found on the carpet and tissue in the sink, and she's going to sleep in that house. And then someone online saw her at a nail shop in the same car. I mean, the cadaver dog smelled the remains smell in the car. That is not an easy smell to get out of a car. My God, that takes a heartless individual to even want to even look at a car like that. I wouldn't even want to see that car. I'd rather catch the bus or walk to work. It's no way I could do it. So thank you, YouTuber, for posting the time that she left, 11:30-ish in the morning, which means when Darian Vince came home, she had a chance to see what was going on, and she was there with the baby. And it's all going to come out in the wash, so the world know that she was there that morning. Whether Jeanette come out and say what time she picked her up or not, that doesn't even matter. The ticket tells the story. So with that, please click like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you so much, subscribers, for subscribing to me. I just started out doing the blogs, and I used to have a TV show in California, so it was basically a skincare show. So I just started out with this, and I caught on to this case and that A.J. Armstrong case, and it just kept going and going and going. And so I'm reaching out to all of my subscribers and bringing everything that I know to the table to you. And then if you know something, leave it in your comments and you can help me too. Thank you so much, and I love all of you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you once again, YouTuber, for letting us know that Brittany Bowens was home that morning when her daughter was murdered. Whether she did it, whether she know who did it, or whether they did it together. I'm going to end my show with that. Thank you. Bye.